I like to think Agent Mega definitely has 3 or 4 kids he doesn't know about.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
On the last debate, we found out that Wenger Borscht it was like a swinger. So, we're really discovering things.
On the last debate we were talking about, it was like, I think the question was like, what Star Kid character, or not, Jesus fucking Christ. What Tin Can character would most likely join a cult?
I would pay money to watch Lauren play Call of Duty. Honestly.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That would be
like that too. Yeah.
That would be so miserable for her. Honestly, what you want to watch her play is Super Mario Brothers, because when she plays that, it's just her going, you little fucker, and like going, and like that's. But Call of Duty, I think she'll just be like, what am I even doing? What am I doing here? When she watches me play some games. Like I'm playing Spider-Man 2 now, and I'm like swinging around. I'm like, look at this, and she's just like, wow. And I go, okay, this is not amazing to you.
Music by Ali and Angela, who wrote that banger of an opening number, and
Angela, who wrote songs and was one of the people behind Shitty Broadway.
That's
and
right.
Ali, who went to Michigan with us and is Turkey Boy. You know Ali, you love Ali.
You famously love Ali. Did you guys see the Kermit the Frog?
Kermit
Muffrog. Insane.
What?
Absolutely insane.
Kermit
Muffrog.
There's somebody who has an account where they do a little puppet of Kermit, and they've covered a bunch of songs from a bunch of projects we've all been in, and then they did a Spy Again version. But it's just Kermit singing Spy Again, going Spy Again.
And he's got a little beard.
The whole song straight through, which Kurt, as you know,
5 minutes, yeah.
He's like,
is like
back here.
He also has like he also has like a shitty little beard too.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it's really cute.
Yeah.
Ex-boyfriends separated by someone going to colonize another planet, and the other one stows aboard. It's a good fun. It's good fun.
It's a good fun.
I have a friend last year who produced an off-Broadway show. It cost them $750,000 to do one show in New York.
Horrible.
You're talking about 7 things for a third of that? That's a steal.
$750,000.
So making theater is expensive, y'all. It is very, very,
and
very
traveling's expensive. It's like, it's like we can't fly on the MAX 9s. We can't do it. So we're going to have to really specifically make sure we're on a different type of plane so the door doesn't fall off.
Even though Lauren can fit in a suitcase, there's still a bunch of the rest of us.
We have to pay for a seat from Lauren. Yeah. Even though, you unzip, you expand that suitcase, you could throw her under. She could go into the, and she could be under there. You give her, honestly, she'd probably get a better sleep down there than she would on a regular flight. And
Hop her into the overhead bin, maybe.
And there would be no COVID risk, So I think she would, honestly, she might be open to it.
I was flying with Lauren once, and she was in the row behind me, and I turned around, and she was 180, just facing the entire opposite side of the seat, just to like with crisscross legs, and I thought it was so funny.
I couldn't believe it. I was
Get
like,
comfortable.
how is this possible?
She is quite small and can fit
small and pretzel-like.
Very pretzel-like.
Just resting her head on the seat to sleep.
And for whatever you think, if you think she's comfortable, she's not.
Has anyone ever been comfortable on a plane?
Would you mind if I just said some nice things to you, because I've been meaning to email them, but I forgot.
Oh my God, sure. Sure, thanks.
Well, ever since the Kickstarter launched, I wanted to just say, wow, you guys did such an incredible job, planning this whole thing, and the buildup was so fun to watch. But also, oh my God, that Kickstarter video was so I'm laughing out loud and wanting to dance and sing along, which is just nuts for something that's typically kind of boring. And
can we spotlight Ashley, please, Corey?
So I just
Brian.
I just wanted to say, because I've been meaning to say to my friends, oh my God, such a good job.
My nervous system is an absolute wreck, but I love being here with all of you right now doing this. I'll tell you, right before this, I was in a dark place, but here we are about to do some great debate stuff, and it's going to be real fun. So
give money to help Joey's nervous system.
The theme of this streams, debates are film, because we're all film people. we film our shows. We put our shows on YouTube to be film-like. They're all on Letterboxd for some reason. But
ours are?
Yeah, it's wild.
I want to take you back to 1999. Little child me goes to see the premiere of a much anticipated prequel movie of a trilogy that I'd only dreamed that we would get more of. We got episodes 4, 5, and 6. Incredible. We went back in time and got episodes 1, 2, and 3. What could be better than getting a prequel trilogy, a sequel trilogy? Fast forward to 20 years later. 20 years later, it's 2019. I am kind of confused about the direction, but I'm hoping it can bring it all together. And the opening crawl of Star Wars Episode 9 says somehow Palpatine returned. And it was all downhill from there. This movie literally made me stop watching Star Wars, Mandalorian, all of it except for Andor. I don't care about anything Star Wars anymore. I hate this movie. It really is the worst. And it just about killed my love for Star Wars.
Whoa!
Wow. Also, not
What's
dropping
it
the
called?
title until 45 seconds in.
Yeah, what is it?
What's
is
this
Star
movie
Wars
called?
Episode
9?
somehow
Nine?
Palpatine returned. What is
Rise
it
of
called?
the Skywalker.
Rise of the Skywalker. I'm gonna call it somehow Palpatine returned. That's what I'm calling it.
I thought for a second you were gonna say Revenge of the Sith, and I was like, "Whoa,
Yeah, I did too.
this is like that's actually the best movie."
In the second one, in Back to the Future 2, you've got the great going to the future and changing the future timeline and future Biff. And then in the third movie, you go, what's the next evolution of that? Is we're going to go to back to the Wild West? We're gonna go so far back. So much of the fun of the other two movies is you're seeing characters in the past or the future that from the present, and instead we're going to see their ancestors in Western times. Who gives a fuck? I'm sorry. The time machine train was cool though.
That train jump is really cool. So,
but it's the end of the movie.
It leaps over. It jumps the track. Also, can I just say the end of Back to the Future 2, when he, the rain is falling and he pulls up in the car and you're like, oh my God, it's from the 1800s. What a fantastic cliffhanger that gets paid off in a really beautiful way, that we get to go back and we get to see his life. We get to go about Doc. We get to see that he's fallen in love and he's got to make that choice. And I love seeing Biff as the old guy with the stash and
but it's
Marty
not
McFly
Biff.
as the Scottish guy.
But it's not them.
So much good. There's so much good in it. There's so much good in it.
Something being not memorable too is pretty compelling. That's a compelling argument.
I mean,
here's the thing: it's not memorable. The entire premise of the entire Episode 9 of Star Wars is based around a wayfinder, a map. It is a fetch. It is a video game.
Fucking
It
MacGuffin.
is the most MacGuffinest of the MacGuffins that ever MacGuffed. And every time I think about it, I get actually so angry.
Kurt, it's almost as if you love movies. You're giving me the impression that you really dig movies. And that's just not
that I spend too much time debating these things with myself and friends.
Hey,
yes,
glad to give you an outlet.
Andor is great. That's my speech.
Yeah,
Andor single-handedly made me go, okay, I like Star Wars again. So if we got Andor out of this whole thing and Diego Luna's beautiful, wonderful face, I'll take any amount of bad movies to make another season of that.
Wow.
It is baffling to me that they acquired the crown jewel of all IP and then they went, what if we don't talk to each other about it?
Yeah.
What if everybody just kind of, it's like,
no idea.
Can I tell you my hot take? I think
zero.
Tom Holland is kind of boring as Spider-Man. I'm gonna be real. He's just
And
like,
then
I'm a little boy.
Spider-Man.
I'm a little boy.
Spider-Verse.
Give me
That's good.
Andrew Garfield was so fun in those roles. I didn't love those
That's true.
movies, but I just feel like
they've
Tom Holland.
made so many of them. I don't.
We have to.
I mean, that
Move on.
contractually Sony has to, or they lose.
Well,
Yeah.
can-
Then-
That's
the
the only
Spider-Verse
reason
came
there's
out,
so
now
many
it's
Spider-Man
like-
movies.
If the money
Everything
goes up,
else
we
can
can
just go
continue.
away.
No, I'm going to be honest, which is I'm glad that people are passionate about the things they're passionate about, but I could not care less about this conversation.
Hey,
Watch
I-
Across the Spider-Verse. It's great. Okay.
It is
It's
great.
so good.
Both of
I
them
don't
are-
actually. I also don't actually care about Back to the Future. I don't feel that passionately about it. I'll watch it. I think it's fine. I think I agree. The setting is sort of fun, and Mary's team.
I do care about Star Wars. I'm angry. I'm so
I don't.
angry.
Hey them.
Hey then.
Hey, them. Hey, them.
Hey them.
Hit him.
What did I say the other day? Pridges.
Your pridges.
Your bridges?
Yeah, after a 4-hour stream, our brains started to melt.
I was saying, thank you for your bridges. Yeah.
This music under these
what is this?
shout-outs fucking
Fucking. This is like, yeah, I felt like I was in a loading screen of a PlayStation 1 game.
I just want to say, like, obviously we literally need the financial help to make this thing happen. But a lot of you have been very active online on social media, on Tumblr, posting and like getting the word out and making art. And that is also hugely helpful. So while we do need to literally raise $200,000 to make our 10-year anniversary happen, we also just need help getting the word out. So that is also valuable. So thank you so much. And please continue doing that.
James is wonderful. We are
It's
so
freaking
excited to
James.
work with him. It's freaking James.
It is freaking James.
It's freaking James.
It's freaking James.
I didn't know you were debating me when you asked me to send a clip today. So you had a little preview, and I have no idea what you're debating. And that's
okay.
One way to look at that would be cheating.
That's true.
Sabotage.
That's true.
Cheating is not against the rules, though. What is?
Oh no!
What is this?
The category that the three of us will be debating is what is the worst on-screen accent?
No, that's not the category you sent me, to be clear. You sent most unbelievable.
Most unbelievable. Sure.
Which is
Wait.
different.
That's not what you sent me. Okay.
You're on the group text.
No, I wasn't.
Wait. Most unbelievable. But it's like unbelievable, worst. It's like, it's the same. You know,
They're similar.
Bestie, what is this? What this is Bob Luhrmann's Elvis. So this is what you just witnessed was Tom Hanks playing Colonel Tom Parker, who is Elvis's manager, who for some reason in this movie is kind of the frame story of this movie. He's supposed to be a Danish con artist. And in the movie, they allude to this idea that like Elvis can't travel to different places because Colonel Parker was trying to stop him because he was like a wanted felon around the world or something and couldn't do things that, and it's all nonsense. It's all bogus because if you listen to interviews with Colonel Parker in real life, he doesn't have this wild accent that Tom Hanks does. It's baffling, this choice.
His broiness just seeps through every sentence. It's as if he spent one day with a dialect coach and kind of just got the basics of where your mouth is supposed to be and then just kind of winged it. The Southern and the English is the most like basic version of like, that's not New Orleans. That is just basic Southern. It's like, this is nowhere in England. This is like a parody of what an English person might sound like a little bit.
Isn't just the idea of Americans doing British accents kind of poorly and British actors doing American accents kind of poorly, isn't that kind of a staple of just the film industry in general? Isn't that something we as audiences have gotten used to and almost endeared to? Whereas like,
No.
Tom Hanks pulling this out of his ass, frankly, is so remarkably like offensive. Like it's offensive to like to Danish people.
I will say Alan Rickman also, just as a performer, is kind of an enigma. Like, you know, that booming Alan Rickman voice. So the fact that you got any accent on it at all, even if it's just like a generic Southern accent that kind of falls away halfway through the scene, I don't mind it. I personally don't mind it because I'm there to watch Alan Rickman and I don't find it as offensive.
Brian, give your British accent.
Okay, we all have to say the same sentence. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Mary Kate?
No, I didn't sign up for it.
Everyone.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Everyone's chosen a different
Thank
class
you,
and a
Dick
different
Van Dyke.
period, in a different period of history.
Corey?
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Good
Okay.
job, everyone.
Who is this for, Eli?
Well,
Good
Who is
Russian,
this
good
for?
Russian accent.
4 out of 10. And
The
now,
Who is this
quick
for?
brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Very
Yeah.
good. First place with 37% is Keanu Reeves doing English.
Not very close.
Congrats, Brian.
This
can I
was
get
like
down from
9.
here? So sorry.
Well, Brian, you have to make your speech.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, thank you so much. All the haters said that it couldn't be done, but you know, Keanu Reeves, while a great guy, is real bad at accents. So there you have it.
because it has been going slow, we do not have the graphic prepared for this yet. And we were like, who knows? So this exceeded our expectations to a point where we were like, oh God, we don't have a graphic to put up for who this guest will be. So this will be an off-air announcement.
I was chatting in Twitter. I don't remember if it was as myself or as TCB, but I was asking people who they thought our Spies announcement might be today, and some of them were really funny. Like one of them was just like Jim Carrey, and I was like, yes, we got
yes,
Jim
exactly.
Carrey.
Jim
Carrey to be in a Spies Forever concert in LA.
Thank you. That is very, very comforting to see there be momentum. You know, when you go a couple days and there's not a lot. It's depressing. So this has been very fun. I mean, genuinely so appreciative. Let's keep it going. Thank you so much. You are all amazing. But let's do one more debate betwixt our guests. And at 100K, something we are going to do and release is that is a remake of our very first sketch, The Phone Thief. We're going to remake that, maybe with new actors, maybe with the same actors. We'll see what is most appropriate for a remake.
I haven't thought about that. But
someone younger and hotter.
Maybe we get the most A-list young and hot actors we possibly can.
Yeah, we figured that might be it would be a fun thing to kind of like go back and first of all, look at our sketch and see if it's any good. And, because a remake of a sketch, it's like, are you going to do a shot for shot remake like the Psycho remake in the late 90s? Are you going to do a reboot where you adapt it in a different way and change some lines? A reboot.
Yeah. Are we going to go back to Joey and my old apartment where we shot that? And
are we going to break
in
to
use permission or break in and then source the old furniture we had there 10 years ago? Are we going to do that?
We now have Ashley Clemens, Mary-Kate Wiles, and Kurt. Ashley, Mary-Kate, and Kurt Mega. Mary-Kate, who is like so ready to do it. I don't know why we're pushing around. I don't know what is happening with this. This is
it's
wild.
Like the shell game.
Yeah, exactly. It's like who is looking forward most to debating. What is the most iconic line in all of cinema history?
This comes from the best threequel of all time. And that, of course, is Return of the King. And it is the classic line when Eowyn rips the helmet off, goes, "I am no man." And every time it happens, we all scream and go, "Yeah!"
Not what I thought you would choose, but I'm loving it.
It's the best line. I was almost gonna pick the two towers. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard because of the cultural meme status. But I'm going with my heart. Eowyn was one of my first loves. Arwen, didn't care for her. Eowyn loved her, and that line made me love her even more. So Eowyn, I am no man, and then she shoves a sword in his face, and he crumbles. Amazing!
Wow,
what a fun line from a movie. But iconic means that like everybody knows it. Everybody, and if you think about that, a lot of people would start saying like The Godfather or something, right? But kids don't know The Godfather. We're leaving out a lot of people. What is a line that if you have never seen the movies, you know it? Because also there've been a crap load of movies over many decades from the 70s to now. What you can't escape the Star Wars franchise. The line is "May the Force be with you."
I chose a line from a movie that I have definitely seen that's been mentioned. It's The Godfather. And this line definitely goes like this. I think we can all agree that this is how the line goes. And the, of course, most iconic line is, "You come to my wedding."
Oh.
And that's it.
Does Marlon Brando just teleport into the stream?
That's how I know the line. That's the line I know. So
one more time, give it to us again.
"You come to my wedding." I thought Kurt was going to choose for Frodo. And I thought when you said Star Wars, you were going to say, Luke, I am your father. That's what I expected. So you both surprised me.
Here's my 1-2 punch. Mary Kate, you're amazing. That was not the right line. Ashley, that May the Force be with you has been bastardized by corporate America.
Whoa.
It has been co-opted into
Which
a
means
slogan.
everyone knows it.
I think everybody can relate to the feeling of somebody showing up at their wedding.
But it's not his wedding.
The day of my daughter's wedding.
You have to confront that person.
Yeah.
You come to my wedding. Thank you so much for giving us the perfect social media clip out for this.
Oh yeah, I immediately made a note of that.
Oh man, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Like, what's the actual line? Because
You
like
come
that's
to me on the day of my
come to
daughter's
me on the day of my
daughter's wedding.
Okay,
You come to my wedding.
I confess
You
that
come
I
to
was
my
trying.
wedding?
I was trying to quote that to Sean one time, and I haven't seen The Godfather, and that's what I said, and I was serious, and he laughed at me really hard.
Star Wars continues to live on because it's like being stretched out into eternity. The conclusion of Lord of the Rings trilogy defined everything we think about fantasy filmmaking going forward. Nothing will ever be the same post, like Lord of the Rings changed everything. And that moment, I would argue, is the most pivotal moment in the final film that won the Oscar that forever changed fantasy filmmaking. It's one of the most important moments in cinema.
Science fiction filmmaking, like
really
and fantasy, frankly, because Star Wars is
ripped off
actually
a bunch
fantasy.
of other cons. It's Seven Samurai in space. Lord of the Rings is something that we had never seen before on screen.
Name a quote from
Star
Seven
Wars.
Samurai. Nope, nobody knows it.
Wow.
You come to my
Is
wedding.
that the Kurosawa?
Okay.
You come to my wedding.
With 25% of the vote, we have Kurt's I Am No Man.
Wow.
Okay.
Now this could go either way.
You're all sexist.
With 26% of the vote,
for not voting for the man.
we have May the Force be with you.
Yay, MK, you deserve
And with
this.
48% of the votes, a win that would win you the presidency is the iconic line from The Godfather. You come to my wedding, ellipses, because it seems like there should be more.
It
But
seems like there's
Speech.
Speech.
Oh.
Speech.
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 Wow. Thank you, everybody. This is, oh my gosh, thank you so much. It means so much to me to share the love for one of my favorite movies that I've certainly seen, The Godfather. And
The Godfather.
I know that this quote resonates with everybody, so I'm really glad that we could connect on that.
Come to my wedding. To all the
But-
people in the chat saying that they were going to vote for me and they changed their weak. I should have known what to get.
I can't believe that I sabotaged people out of voting for Lord of the Rings.
I know, that's insane.
Kurt, I don't think you can separate iconic from the fact that capitalism has taken hold of a phrase. You know, I think that like helps make it more iconic in this world.
It's why the businesses have latched on.
I don't believe spoilers can ruin a movie because most of the iconic movies that we ever like knew, I already knew the stuff before I went and saw it for the first time.
Well, TCB
with all of you.
And also with you.
Also with you.
Thank you all. This is
and
wonderful.
with your wallet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll see you on Sunday.
Later.